at Notre Dame. And we talk about Venables finally getting an opportunity in year 4 going into Oklahoma. Like, this should be the year where you see a change. And 8-4, 7-5, and I'm talking about in games, is good for Brett Venables and his staff, because next year they're going to be unstoppable in the trenches. They're going to be one of the best teams in the trenches in 2026. Stop it.
So you
Go ahead, Jason. You here.
So let me reset us, because I think Jason just added his thing, because I just saw a bunch of new people bump in. So just so everybody is aware of what's going on here. So this is my top 25 college football ranking. I've invited every single person that I talk to join this. So that is what you're seeing. So you're seeing a lot of friendly fire here that is happening, because we're talking about college football. Listen, the season is about to start, right? This is our last chance where we can act like our teams are going to be perfect until they show on paper that they might have some flaws. Okay. So allow us this moment, okay, to rant and rave about our team. So everyone who wants to is streaming on their respective platforms. So wherever you're watching this, welcome in. And we have right now, just so everybody knows, I'm a Texas fan and I'm a Steelers fan. So we'll call that out here, because I don't think I've said that at all, but most people know that. We have Michigan fan, Georgia fan, Oklahoma fan, Notre Dame fan, Alabama fan. So everybody that was a part of the series has a link. So if anybody joins at any time, I will add them. And they're here for 0 minutes the whole time, whatever they want to do. So if anybody drops off, don't blame them. Okay. It's okay. So I will be quiet. And so Jason, how are you feel about Oklahoma?
I feel pretty good about Oklahoma. What they were missing last year was an offense with a pulse. Smook was talking about, our defense played immaculate. Well, he didn't have to play much of an offense, so that was part of that. But the defense has been for real at Oklahoma for the last couple of years, and they're gonna. I think that this year, with what they have on the D line, the depth, particularly in the interior, is legit. It's going to put them in every game, and then you bring a guy like John Mateer in, and some of the stuff that they've got, weapons-wise and stuff. And I don't think that you have to have the best offense in the country. I don't think that that's what Oklahoma is at this point. But I don't think that even being top 30 or whatever, if you're offensively top 30, I think that they're going to give a lot of teams a lot of trouble, and starting with Michigan next week.
I mean, you say that, but have you looked at your quarterback's track record against top teams? It's like a 54% completion percentage, and he hasn't.
We're talking about him,
but the best defense that Mateer has played doesn't hold a candle to Wink Martindale's defense. It's going to be unlike anything he's ever seen.
Right, you're talking about bringing a true freshman in for his first road game against a Brent Venables defense, and we're going to worry about Mateer and stuff.
And how often is it successful for the head coach to be calling plays for the defense? It doesn't work.
That's not true at all. Kirby Smart been calling plays for the defense at Georgia for a long time.
Ooh, not really.
No.
Hey, you stop that line. We know for a fact
No.
this man had 3 coordinators on his staff, and you think he giving them the responsibility to call his plays?
He
No,
is.
he didn't.
No.
That's why T-Rob trying to get out of there now.
No. He
And
actually.
for that matter, who was the defensive coordinator at Alabama for all those years? You could call it whoever you wanted it to be, but it was actually
It was definitely Saban. That's why I say. That's
No,
why Kirby
we know Saban was calling those, but Kirby, no.
That was pretty successful.
he got the blueprint from Dad.
Was it not?
Yeah, no, it was successful, but I'll be honest with you. When Dan Lennon was here, Dan Lennon was actually calling those plays. Kirby gave Dan Lennon the option to call those plays.
I give you that. The 1 year before he left to go to Oregon,
Yeah,
that was his year.
he gave him, because Schumann is pretty much more than likely about to step in and do that too. He's finna give that off to Shu to go ahead and start calling plays. Now, I will be honest. Last season, I think he did try to give Shu that opportunity to do that, but that's why Milchamp came back to help with that, because that was the key underlining, because Kirby can't be over there. He tried it the first year when he first came to Georgia to try to help call that defense and left the offense kind of hanging, and that's why we had that bad season, and that's why he's kind of like let go of those reins. And when Milchamp came in and do that,
my point stands. Even on what you're saying, my point stands. You got it. These guys that are really, really good at what they do, like even offensively or defensively, when they're really good at what they do, they continue doing it, and it goes just fine.
Yeah, but either way, nonetheless, Arbuckle and Mateer have a bad track record against top defenses, and Wink Martindale's defense dwarfs any defense that they played. On top of that, Sharon Moore is coming back to Oklahoma after he played at Oklahoma. Sharon Moore is not losing this game.
Oh yes, he is.
This is the first time. To my understanding, this is his first time returning to normal.
Fade when he gets back to Oklahoma next week. He's going to catch a fade.
So you like Michigan at Oklahoma? What is that? Week 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oklahoma's going to win by multiple touchdowns. Come on.
JJ came back on the camera for this one. What you got to say, JJ?
JJ, you in prison? You okay? They let you out? You okay with your background?
That boy in the bricks. Literally.
I love that. Okay. Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting because we don't really know. I feel like every team has a little bit of unknowns. I don't think any team, you can look at any team right now and say they're it. They have everything figured out. They have everything. They have a returning quarterback. They have a returning this. They have a returning that. They have, like, no team, in my opinion, feels that complete. Everyone has something that you can point to and go, yeah, but that's their quarterback. Or, yeah, but look at that offensive line. Or, yeah, but they lost their defensive coordinator. They have a new quarterback. Like, I don't feel like even LSU might be the most, like, complete because they have a returning quarterback. But that defense was so bad last year that everyone's kind of like, I don't know about that defense. Like, every team has something this year. I think that's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah.
I got a question. I mean,
is there a team that you guys think that everybody thinks is, like, for sure, like,
no, I think it's a toss-up
head and shoulders above? Yeah.
No, I think that there's 9 or 10 teams that theoretically at least could win the Natty this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of teams that could win.
I want to know how your heralded running back transfer, Jaden Ott, is listed as the 3rd running back on the depth chart.
It could be. Well, he's been injured for had some little dings. I don't think they're worried about playing him against Illinois State.
Okay. So you think that he's only 3rd because it's a week 1 against Illinois State?
Yeah, I think it's a week. Okay. I think that's absolutely a week 1 roster or depth chart because there's a couple of guys that aren't probably starting and don't need to play.
Okay.
I mean, it's Illinois State, bro. It's Illinois State.
No, I get it. I'm just saying it was just a shock when I saw the depth chart yesterday because I've been hearing about him all off season. So I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
No,
what's going on there?
He got banged up a little bit here towards, like, I think it was like the 2nd week.
The second scrimmage is what I heard.
And he's just, I mean, they've been wrapping him in bubble wrap because he got hurt last year. So they don't want to go into the season with him being, banged up. I think they want to make sure he's ready to go. I'd be surprised if he got more than maybe a carry or two. I don't really see that. I don't see a point in playing him at all. How good are the other running backs there? Because I know you had 1 or 2 transfer out, right? Like how good are the ones that are still there behind him?
You still got Barnes. You still got Javonte Barnes there. Like,
yeah, Javonte's there, and I tell you, talking about freshman guys that are the guy that they've got listed at number 2 right now, Torrey Blaylock, is a home run hitter, man. This guy
every time speed.
Bro, his speed is ridiculous. He put on the weight that they wanted him to put on. He's looked really good in the blocking game, which that's the thing with DeMarco is that he's the kind of guy like last year with Taylor Tatum. He didn't play him a lot. Number one, he had some fumbles when he did, but he also had a situation. He wasn't blocking well at all. And DeMarco's not going to let you play if you're not blocking. If you can't pick up your blocks, he's not going to play you. But Javonte's there. He's a senior now. And the thing about Javonte, I think that he knows exactly what is expected of him. He was going to be the number 1 guy, in at least for DeMarco. I think he's the number 1 guy. When you bring in Jim Nagy, though, and he goes and gets Jaden Ott is going to be the number 1 guy as soon as I think they're going to put him in next week for sure. You'll get a heavy.
Do you think he'll be healthy and ready for week 2?
I think you will. But again, I think that they're pretty. That running back room is pretty loaded up. I mean, I'm not too worried about the drop off from any of them. You know what I mean? I do think that Javonte can do what he needs to do. But we'll wait and see kind of how it works itself out. But I like Jaden Ott. I think he's going to be really good. But myself, Torrey Blaylock is going to be a legit threat.
Let me ask Smook as someone who I'm pretty sure has a good knowledge of both rooms. Compare the 2 running back rooms. We got Jordan Marshall, Justice Haynes, got Micah Kapana, Jasper Parker. Compare that to Oklahoma's running back room. Who do you think has the edge there?
I think name on paper right now, you got Michigan because of the names, but I think production wise, what's coming back, I like Javante Barnes' running style for what coming in with Arbuckle. Justice Haynes, is he going to be your bell cow? He's going to need 20 plus carries a game. You get what I'm saying?
Him and Marshall are going to basically be 1A, 1B. It's going to be very close to 50-50.
So if that's the case, then how many times you handing it off? Because that means you're going to need to hand the ball off. Justice Haynes is going to need 20 plus carries to be effective in anybody's offense. That's just the type of running back he is. He's not going to pop off with the big explosive plays. That's his reason for leaving Alabama. He didn't want to be in a 40, 30, 20, 10 room. You get what I'm saying? He wanted to be in one of those rooms where he's getting 60% of those carries. And that's what he did in high school throughout his whole career. So I think right now, Michigan has it better on paper, but philosophy-wise, schematics, I think with what Mateer and Arbuckle and that offense are bringing in to Oklahoma, it coincides with the pace of play calling for Oklahoma's defense, which I think has the advantage in this game too, in that matchup. So I really like Michigan's running back room on paper, but I think schematic-wise, it goes to Oklahoma for the edge. And that's just in their run game. I think when you talk about the passing game, as much as we want Oklahoma's passing game to be so explosive, I don't think it phases into that immediately coming into the season. I think there's levels of it.
Well, and let me ask you, so I touched on this earlier also, Smoke. Sorry, mind blank. Wink Martindale's defense against Arbuckle's offense. How do you see that matching up?
What's that now?
Don't answer that. Defense? Hold on. Let me get the super chat. Oh, let me just do the super chat real fast. So Charles, I can't see the name, sent to super chat. I don't know whose channel it's from, honestly. So if that's your person, claim them.
Appreciate it,
from Jason.
Thank you, Crow.
Thank you for your super chat, Charles. We appreciate it. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just asking. So I've seen what I've looked back at from Arbuckle from Washington State, but I haven't. I've looked at some of it. I've looked more at
you're talking about
the
Washington
stats on the paper,
State, though, bro.
Right. No. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking Smoke.
With Washington State.
Right. That's what I'm asking Smoke here about the scheme. Arbuckle's scheme matched up against Wink Martindale's defense, which he's seen a lot of as well.
You realize it's the same scheme that like Lincoln Riley used to run and that kind of stuff. That was
Denton Lynn's version of it isn't the same.
It's more perimeter run game.
Y'all play week 2?
Week 2.
Yeah, week 2. Yeah.
Week 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to see more perimeter run game, but with different blocking assets available. I think Oklahoma's offensive front, their offensive line compared to what Arbuckle has had his previous stop, especially at Washington State last year. Mateer did that behind an offensive line that really wasn't asked to do much because of how he created plays, off schedule plays. But I think he's going to be able to be in more of a situation.
He was the running game.
The running game. And now you get a situation where he has some assistance in the running game. I think you get a different balance of play calling from Arbuckle too, who wants to put the ball on the ground, wants to hand the ball off 48 to 52% of the time. You know what I'm saying? Like the passing game is more explosive directed, getting those guys in space. But I'm talking about your flood concepts that Arbuckle designs, getting an athletic quarterback like Mateer who can throw good on the run out in space off platform. That's more so in his wheelhouse and going to set him apart as far as the development of this offense. Outside of that, man, Michigan on the other side of it, Michigan doesn't have that in their passing game. I don't see it happening for Bryce. I think
but with Wink Martindale's defense, with what you saw him do last year against Ohio State and Jeremiah Smith against Alabama, like how do you think that matches up with Arbuckle?
You're dealing with different skill sets of quarterback here, man. That's you don't have Jalen Miro who's going to take off after one.
Do you really believe that Bryce Underwood is going to go on the road game 2 against Brent Venables, who's going to bring pressure from all kinds of places he's never seen and not get put in the blender?
You don't think he's seeing that from Wink Martindale and practice every day?
Negative.
Yeah,
not if they want.
Yeah,
not if they want him to be ready to start week 1. You don't go and beat up your true freshman quarterback in scrimmages.
They're not hitting him, but I'm saying he's seeing those looks. He's seeing those exotic blitzes.
Talking about hitting. I'm talking about pressures. Mentally, you're telling me that Michigan's defensive coordinator's out there throwing in his mixed coverage looks against his true freshman quarterback that they have to have ready.
He's been doing it all since spring camp. Yes,
I don't think so. I don't
think so.
He's been
doing that since spring camp to get Bryce Underwood ready.
I think Bryce Underwood is going to be so many steps behind because of that. because the very thing that you see coming from Michigan, Brent Venables is different when it comes to designing the hidden pressures, man. And that's.
But I just want to point out, Smook, that you were just talking about how all those guys that were on the defense for Michigan in the ReliQuest Bowl against Alabama, the vast majority of those guys are still on that defense in the same scheme with another year under it. And now you're sitting here saying that, acting like it's not going to give Arbuckle problems.
We're talking about defensively for Michigan, right?
Right.
And I don't think it gives Arbuckle problems because of the type of scheme that you're going up against. If this was the Oklahoma scheme last year, the way that offense was ran last year, Michigan's dominating that. They don't have to give extra access to the box. But Oklahoma's going to be able to spread you out, and he still wants to put the ball on the ground. A lot of people didn't try Michigan in that phase last year. And I think because of the way that it plays out, man, I'm talking about numbers. Perimeter run game on the Arbuckle is some of the top, most successful, efficient rushing offense in the nation last year. Even
you don't think Ryan Day was trying to spread us out with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate, Egbuka, all them?
Don't get me to talking about Ohio State's play calling against Michigan. They literally let y'all have that game. They brought y'all back in that game by feeding into the strength for us. That's just my opinion.
You gotta quit acting like it's the same football team that you had 2 years ago, Kinetic.
I'm not talking about 2 years ago. I'm talking about literally the end of last year when we didn't have Will Johnson playing. We didn't have Mason Graham or Kenneth Grant playing in the ReliQuest Bowl. I'm talking about the players we had that we still got. And the scheme is the same from 2 years ago. It's Wink Martindale who designed the scheme that we had in 2021, 22, and 23.
You haven't gone up against let me just ask to go on what Smook was talking about with the scheme that Oklahoma is going to have. It's an air raid, quote unquote, scheme. He's not afraid to go get into a jumbo package and get under center. He's not. He's going to go and get yards however he needs to get it. If you watched him all the way through, really watched him all the way through, they do a lot of different things to put points on the board and get yardage. This is a different program. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. We're going to talk about Mateer and what they did against teams that are, quote, good teams. They beat Power 4 teams last year. They beat Washington last year.
Yeah.
And that was with a trash program. I mean, they didn't have the kind of weapons. They had one guy that was really good that could have played anywhere. And that the rest of them, they didn't. He was the running game. He literally was the running game, and they were able to go and get wins. I'm just telling you, man, it's a different animal when you come to Oklahoma, the kind of weapons that you have around you.
I just think you're underestimating Wink Martindale and his defense.
I think you're underestimating
the one thing I will say is I do think that being on the road is going to be a thing. So let's just call it a draw against team versus team. Let's just call it a draw. Just for laugh's sake. If that is a draw, they still have to go to Oklahoma. And right. I think that's I think that ask in itself is a hard ask to ask of a true freshman. Now, have we seen true freshmen go out, pull it out, and do all the things? Yes, but obviously. But for me, I think if we call it even, I'm not here to say it's not, but if we call it even, I think that is going to be, I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. I mean, is being in Oklahoma, because that will be his first. Well, I think that will be his first experience. Yeah, obviously he's a freshman. It'll be his first experience going like on a huge college game, huge atmosphere, and it'll be interesting to see like what he looks like. I think that's the $1 million question. Yeah, is he going to look like a freshman?
It'll be fun. I definitely think Oklahoma's going to be the toughest test for Bryce because it's so early in the season. I do think that it's close enough because like. Talking with the people that I know that cover Oklahoma, a lot of the same issues that we had last year, they had wide receiver room, offensive line, all that stuff, quarterback. I just think that I think that Wink Martindale's defense is going to be ready. I don't think we're going to be asking Bryce to win the game. We've got a great run game with Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall, and a deep room behind him. We're not asking Bryce when Michigan has never asked their quarterback to go out and be the one to win the game. It's just to step up when we need you to. And do I think Bryce can do that at this point? Yes. Well, but I think it's going to be a lot of leaning on the defense and the run game as well. Let
me ask this question.
JJ has to drop.
Well, yeah, I have to drop, but I want to get this about Bryce because I've only saw him on highlights. I haven't seen him play a real game anywhere. sometimes I wonder did that young man choose the right university to play football at. And I know that might come off as a little spicy, but because of what you just said, like Michigan has won and played their best ball with like a game manager at quarterback. Bryce appears to be a guy that they sold that's like a special,
Off schedule
type guy, off schedule, off platform type dude, can run the ball. Things that we've seen at Michigan, but he seems to be a little bit more special than the Michigan prototype, McCarthy type, that you experienced winning with. I wonder if he can stay within the framework of what Michigan likes to do in order to do what you're, outlining, for you to win the game, or will he go back to trying to win the game himself, when things get tight, or like, what Jason said, when Venables, heats him up, is he going to try to take him off? Because I think that's what Venables wants him to do.
Oh yeah, no, I get that.
Try to be Superman.
I would say this. I think the thing with JJ, people call him a game manager. He's not a game manager. He could have went to any university, played in an air raid or whatever, and balled out. He went to Michigan, played within the structure of Jim Harbaugh's offense, and just because he wasn't asked to do all that doesn't mean he can. Y'all are going to see that this year with the Vikings. But with Bryce, yes, he can do all of that, but you also got to look at the coaching staff. Sharon Moore, while he's going to continue the tradition of Michigan having a strong run game, strong offensive line, strong defense with the Wink Martindale scheme. Now we actually have the originator of that scheme there, Wink Martindale. He brought in Chip Lindsey for a reason. Chip Lindsey, his offensive scheme has always been tailored to what he had with him. When he had Drake May, he tailored the offense around Drake May. When he had a really good tight end compared to his wide receivers, he tailored the game to that. When he didn't have that, when he had to go to a backup quarterback last year, but he had Omari and Hampton, he tailored the game to that. So that's what you're going to see. I don't think that you're going to see Bryce play outside of that structure as much in year one, because we're not going to ask him to be Superman out there because of what we have. But just like JJ, he's going to have the ability to step up and make those plays when we need him to. And I think that Chip is going to be able to utilize his skills in a way that you wouldn't see Jim Harbaugh do. In that case, Sharon Moore is much more flexible with Chip Lindsey than Jim Harbaugh was with any of his offensive coordinators.
I mean, I respect that. I mean, I'm interested to see what he does because, honestly, watching Michigan last year offensively, it was a mess.
Oh, yeah, last year was horrible.
Yeah, so
but that was in large part our offensive coordinator, Kurt Campbell. His scheme was it wasn't creative in any way. He didn't try to fit it to what we had. He basically said, here's the J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum offense. Y'all are going to run that. I don't care, Donovan Edwards, that you're a east and west runner. We're going to run you up the middle every time. Doesn't matter. We're not going to do screens. We're not going to do any two running back sets with you and Mullins out there.
Right? You're going to have to run the ball.
Yeah,
I was just going to say that. I think
that's the toughest part. Oklahoma didn't give up a lot of rushing yards even last year, and they're better than they were last year in the trenches.
I think that's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, because if you're not able to run the football,
you have to pass
now
the ball.
You are putting it in Bryce Underwood's hands to have to go beat you. And and
I think he has the ability to step up, like he said the other day in the interview.
He's not going to have.
They ain't seen freshmen like him before.
Hey, Jason ain't with it, bro. Jason is like
So let me ask a question then. How is the Michigan offensive line? Are they new? Are they experienced? Like, what is the?
A little bit of both.
I'm trying to throw a bone. Okay, I'm trying to dig.
Yeah. So we've got veteran players that are really good in Greg Crippen at center. Gio Al-Hadi is really good, but last year he was playing out of position because we brought in Josh Preeb, who was playing at left guard, so we were playing Al-Hadi at right. We also had Evan Link play a little earlier than he probably was ready to last year, and playing out of position. He had played left tackle his entire football career. Prior to that, we put him in there at right tackle. So the right side of our line was not good last year because they were playing. All their instincts were from playing on the left side. Now we've moved Al-Hadi over to left guard. We've moved Link over to left guard. We had Andrew Sprague, who really stepped up last year towards the end of the year at right tackle, and he solidified himself there. So I would say the weak parts are left tackle, because we haven't seen the steps that we hope that Evan Link has made, but that reportedly he has made. So I want to see it before I call it a strength. And then right guard is probably the weakest part of the line, in the sense that, like, for example, all offseason it's been expected that it was going to be Nathan Afobe taking the job. And it was just announced yesterday that I mentioned this at the start of the show, that we had a transfer come in from Cal Poly, Brady Norton, who was announced as the starter at right guard there. So I would say right guard's a weakness. Left tackle could be a weakness, but I need to see it. The rest
That
of
might
the
be a
line, we're pretty
problem.
confident in.
Yeah. Well, listen, at the end of the day, let me just say this. If you're going to ride for your team, this is how you're supposed to do it. Okay. Because on the cool, he could be wrong about everything and he could be right about everything. But this is how you're supposed to ride for your team. If you are a fan of your team and you're not riding for them this hard, I'm going to question your fandom. So shout
Call
out
it
to
fair
you.
weather
because
fandom. We
at the
call
end
it
of
fair
the day-
weather fandom over there at AAA family.
Listen, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of fans right now that as soon as they see a little bit of crackage or a little bit of leakage on their team, they're off the boat and they're running and they're like, we're not that good. So hey, I
Plane
kudos
drive.
to you. Kudos to you. And you know what? If you're right, you're going to look like the smartest man walking. And if you're wrong, it's going to be like, well, let's reevaluate. So I know you have to drop off. So that's why I just wanted to say, like, kudos to you. Because at the end of the day, that's how you're supposed to be when you're a fan of your team.
And I'll just say, open invitation to anyone that wants to come on over to the Maze Madman channel. We go every Monday night after the game. Come over and talk about it. And I'm happy to come on y'all's shows if you want to talk about it. If you guys want to have me on, hit me up on X at Kinetic615. I'm happy to come on anytime and have some good natured back and forth and talk about the games.
I love it.
Yeah, hey man,
I love it.
We'll definitely. I'm supposed to get a hold of Maze Madman for sure, and
man.
But we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you.
For sure, man.
Yeah. But I'll catch you guys later, Smoog. It was great as always. Nice to meet you, Jason. Flawed, thank you for having me on.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man.
Hey, before I go, can we all agree that Ohio State is the softest university in the country, banning Dave Portnoy from entering their stadium on Fox's kickoff panel? Can we leave it at that? Can we all agree on that?
I'll give you that.
You made me dislike everything about Michigan starting today through the end of the 2025 season. You made me dislike, because I can't believe you really believe that Bryce Underwood gonna walk into Norman and play good enough to help. If Michigan wins that game, and I'm gonna let you go after this. If Michigan wins that game, it's not because of their quarterback play. I guarantee.
No, I agree. We're not winning because of Bryce Underwood. We just need him to step up when we need him to not lose the game.
He won't be able to.
But we're gonna win it. We're gonna win it off of the running backs and the defense.
Be good. I think Bryce is gonna be good. And I would be worried about Michigan later in the year more than I'm worried about
100%.
Week 2.
That's
all I'm saying.
If we win the game, it is not because of Bryce. I 100% agree with you. If we win the game, it'll be because of Jordan Marshall and Justice Haynes, and it'll be because of the defense. But I'll catch you guys later. Again, happy to come on after the game anytime, or hit me up. But I'll talk to you guys later.
Love it. Later. I love it. Hey, listen, that's what this is all about, right? This is college football. Like, you're supposed to. This is what you're supposed to do.
It's supposed to be. We're supposed to talk shit.
I'm disappointed when people are like, right? I need you to ride for your team. Like, like my fandom doesn't really go like that, but I understand when other people's fandom gets like that. So I love that. So a couple of things. So we are streaming on Coach Smook's show. We're streaming on Jason's show. We're streaming on my channel. We're streaming on my Instagram, and I think we're streaming on both of your Instagrams. I can't tell because my screen is crowded. But if you're on all 3 of our channels, like all of our channels, make sure you're subscribed to all of our channels. I am a Texas fan. Everybody knows that. Like, I don't make any bones about it. I'm a Texas fan. We have Alabama fan, Oklahoma fan. For those people that just joined, because I just saw the numbers uptick a little bit, so I did a top 25 college football series, released videos in order of how I ranked each team. And then I invited everybody to come on, sent them the link, invited everybody to come on and come and represent their team. So that is what they're here for. Okay. That is what this show is about, is come and represent your team. So anyways, now that we're there, now we have an all SEC, so this is kind of like, it's kind of not fair in a lot of ways, but that's okay. Because I feel like earlier we had a conversation of if we thought Oklahoma was taking a step forward, if they were taking a step back, or if they were just going to be a little bit better. Like we didn't know if they were like a little bit better, a lot better, kind of like where our range was. So you weren't here, Jason. That is your team. So what do you think? Do you think you all are taking like a massive step forward? Do you think you're going to be better? Like where do you feel like you all are going to be this season?
Yeah, I think they take a step forward. I think that the only thing that kept them from being significantly better last year was decent quarterback play, and the fact that I shouldn't even say quarterback play. The offense was a total shit show from everywhere. The line was injured early. You had 9 different offensive line combinations that they played throughout 12 games. On top of that, you had six receivers total. By the time it was all said and done, the top 6 receivers were out. And then you had a terrible, terrible coordinator. I mean, terrible coordinator. That being said, the quarterback situation wasn't good either. Jackson Arnold was scared of his own shadow. That's not the case with John Mateer. This guy comes in there and going up against this defense every day. They win some, they lose some, but he's talking and swag. The swag is out there. A lot of people like to compare him to Baker Mayfield. I hate that. I don't like comparing players at all, really. I don't think that's – but I do think that when it comes to the kind of swag that you saw from Baker, where he comes in and he just believed in himself, supreme chip on his shoulder, he's going to come out there and he wants to compete. He's brought that to the room. I've said that I think that Michael Hawkins is every bit as talented as what John Mateer is. What John Mateer brought, though, with that chip on his shoulder, Oklahoma needed in the worst way. That confidence level, that it's going to bring the confidence level up on both sides of the ball even. The defensive guys, he talks shit to them all day, every day, and they love him for it. Love him for it. It's it keeps it very competitive in there, and you can see a difference in I mean, just looking at the way at the end of last year, and there was times during the first couple of years that Coach Venables just kind of looked a little defeated. You know what I mean? And he should have looked defeated, in regards to what was going on last year, because it didn't matter what his defense did. You weren't going to have a whole lot of opportunities to win. It was so bad.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're seeing him with this kind of wry smile right now when people are asking him, like, yeah, wait till you see what I got for you now.
Do you think do you think it's like, I feel like there's like scales. Like, do you feel like you would be let down if Oklahoma wasn't contending to get in the playoffs? Or are you saying that you feel okay? I didn't know how high.
Oh yeah,
how far we were going. Okay.
I think anything. I mean, 8 keeps his job, and at 8, if you were to say, because you've got Alabama and LSU in 2 of the last 3 weeks, right? So you're closing out.
Right.
You're probably going to be at 8 by the time you get to the Bama game, which means, or I feel like you should be around 8 by then, right? When you get to the Bama game. I don't think that Mizzou is ready for what they're going to get when they get to town this year. That's the in-between game. And then the LSU game, I think, truth be told, I think the LSU game, whatever happens against Bama, is going to be what decides it. It should be what decides whether or not you go to the playoff or not. Okay. I really do think so. And I do think that, I think that LSU is going to be pretty damn good too. My concern with them, I guess, will be defensively. You haven't really seen them. It's not normal LSU defense. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure what I think.
And then Jason, also you got them I think Norman is a hard place to play. And I'm not just talking because I'm a Bama fan. I'm looking at how teams just play when they went into Norman last season. Your defense played better at home. And that's like the catalyst for what your team was last year. You bring into this year offensively, teams like Alabama, teams like Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee. We catching y'all after like the week where you kind of find your identity. Week 7 is kind of when you across college football, you've seen like the first 5 to 7 games, you try to find your identity in a lot of these teams that's got a lot of movement. Well, Alabama didn't have a lot of movement this season, so you can see Alabama hit their peak at a week 4, before we go and play Georgia, and then kind of just roll on and build off of that throughout the season. I think Oklahoma doesn't hit their peak because of the moving pieces until like the Tennessee game, where they go on the road and they may have to win a tough one, or they may lose a close one to Tennessee at Tennessee, just because of the way the schedule falls. You coming off
like after the Texas game is always a letdown. So you've got
exactly
right after
South
Texas,
Carolina and in Columbia.
Right. You've got right after that, you've got them and then Ole Miss at home, but then you got Tennessee plus
on
Bama back to back on the road. So we're talking, I think that the second half of the schedule is a bear. The second half of the schedule is a bear, without a doubt. And not to say that the first, you don't have some games in that first one that you could trip up in.
Right.
The hope is, if you're an OU fan, the hope is that you're going to get out to a 5-0 start. You know what I mean? You should be able to beat Michigan at home. You should be able to beat Auburn at home, even though I know that Auburn has some talent. Their defense is really good. Jackson Arnold is going to be their quarterback more than likely. I mean, I don't know if he makes it to that. I mean, never mind. Anyway,
let's not start on Jackson tonight, please.
Let me stay off of JA. Let me stay off of JA right now.
Can we, hey, hold on. Hey, Flawed, can we please put a ban on Jason Watkins talking about Jackson Arnold on any collab stream?
I wasn't trying to do it. I'm backing off of him. No, but the point being is you hope that you go into and Flawed needs to get back on here so I can talk my shit about Texas right now.
Uh-huh.
No, you want to be 5-0 when you get to Red River. You know that's a good situation for Oklahoma with Red River because of the fact that they're coming off of a game in the swamp. Oklahoma's playing Kent State the week before. It's like having a second, like having another a bye week to get ready. I think that's a good situation for OU anyway. But I mean, because either team can win that game. That's always like that. It's just like you guys in the Iron Bowl. You guys feel like somebody, the best team may not even win. A lot of times that's just kind of how it goes. But in the end, I think that you should get to Red River undefeated. What happens from there is whether or not you get in the playoff or not. You get to Red River undefeated. Whatever happens in the last 7 is what we're going to find out whether or not they're a playoff team, to answer your question. So I think they got a good chance against Texas. I think they should beat South Carolina and Tennessee for sure. But the problem is that those are some road games, and you're going to catch.
You're in the SEC, Jason. This is the SEC. There's no weeks off. There's no weeks off.
And
Exactly.
so you can lose to teams that you don't think you should get beat by. And Oklahoma traditionally after the Red River has had problems. I mean, you'll have a hangover from the game. Win or lose the Red River, you can have a hangover from that game. And so if you don't step up and be ready the next week on the road in Columbia, you're going to get your ass kicked.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think before y'all, Oklahoma's coming off of a big game too at LSU. I don't think
Carolina's going to playing at LSU the week before. That's right.
Oh yeah. South Carolina is playing at LSU. I'm sorry, I said Oklahoma, but I think that's one that's the tone setter.
South Carolina is playing at LSU before
they play Oklahoma.
The week of the Red River. So we've got South Carolina the week after Red River, and then they've got LSU. So it's definitely there's a chance that they could have a hangover too. But they're at home though. We're on the road there.
They're on the road. They're going to Death Valley.
No, but I'm saying they're home for Oklahoma though.
Okay,
Oklahoma's going to be on the road after Red River. I mean, the bottom line is it's going to be a tough game. That's a tough game coming off Red River. I don't even care if it could have been anybody right there. It's going to be a tough matchup. You know what I mean? And then the fact is, then after that, you got Ole Miss at home. I don't think Ole Miss is the same as they were. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year, but I also think that Lane Kiffin can dial it up. You know what I mean? Lane knows what he's doing and he can dial it up. The guys, who's the hell's the last dude that won had a bunch of 10-win seasons at Ole Miss? It just don't happen. It just don't happen.
Fair.
So Then you go back-to-back weeks. I'm obviously not back-to-back weeks. You got to buy in between, but then on the road at Tennessee, Knoxville, tough place to play at Neyland Stadium. Then you got to go. Then you got to go to T-Town after that, and they're pissed off, sick to death over losing the game last year. Probably kept them out of the playoff. So long way to get to your
Alabama
question.
This
that
year?
wins, you should have that 8 wins when you get to Bama, and now you're hoping to get 2 more out of 3. That's the way I kind of feel about it. You're hoping to get at least to 9 by the time it's all over. I think 9 wins could put you in the playoff, but I feel like you got to get to 10, to be honest with you. I think you still have to get to 10. I think you're just going to – 9 leaves it up to chance. If you want in the playoff, you're going to have to get to 10. So I think what is a successful season? It's being in contention those last couple of weeks, and, you definitely better win 8. But if you can win 9, you're better off. And then, if you can get to 10, then we're ready to go. I don't think anybody's going to want to see this team with this defense in the playoff. You're not going to want to see them if they make it to the playoff. But again, I think that you better win 8 at the very minimum, because I don't think that Brent probably survives if he doesn't.
Can you guys hear me? Am I behind?
No, I got you, sis.
Okay. I feel like I'm behind. Okay. Maybe I'm shutting down tabs, so I'm like going behind the scenes.
That's what I'm doing right now. I literally was like, "Dang, man, I got 17 tabs open. I only got 3 screens over here. What I need 17 tabs."
Yeah,
for?
I started noticing I was seeing you all skipping, and I'm like, I've got so many tabs open. I'm just shutting them. Okay, cool. And I heard you said you wanted to talk trash about Texas when I was stepping away for a second.
You're gonna run along right whenever we get into Red River talk. No,
it's what I came for.
Talks about that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not a fun I don't talk trash
shit.
like that. Yeah, I'm not that fun of a fan. I think it's because I'm a level-headed fan. And I see it how I see it, right? Like I could see.
Well, I want to ask you though what you think. I want to ask you what you think about Texas too. I mean, where do you feel like there's a lot? I mean, you're number 1 preseason, number 1.
Yeah.
You've got.
I think they're loaded. I think they should be number 1. Yeah, I think they should be number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why they're number 1 is because of that defense, and I think everybody sees Arch as the story and as the picture. But the truth of the matter is, I tell everybody this that I've ever.
For the Heisman
I wasn't finished though, but I wasn't finished. I tell everybody when you ask them, who do you know off Texas? Like, what are some guys that you know not named Arch Manning? Usually, you will get people that will know at least 3 to 4 guys on our defense that aren't even fans of our team. To me, that means that those guys are relevant because they've seen those guys. They've seen their names. They've seen them popping up. They hear people talk about them. That doesn't happen to any other team. And I think to me, if you look at who those guys are, we're talking about Colin Simmons. We're talking about Anthony Hill Jr. We're talking about those guys are good. And so I think if you look at a team, I don't think this team is going to be carried by Arch in week 1. I don't see that. I see this defense carrying Arch along until he's ready to say, I got this. That is how I see it. So if Arch goes and wins us the game, cool. I don't think that's what we're asking of him, though. I think we're asking him.
Anyway.
Correct. We're saying don't turn the ball over. Don't be dumb. If you see a shot, take it. But hey, we have a good defense. Trot them back out there. Trust what they're doing. And to me, I think that's the development of Arch I want to see early on. I need him to be okay that he's not the guy. Everybody thinks he is the guy. But I need him in his real mind and his real Texas football team to look at his team and say, they're better than me right now. This defense is better than this offense right now. That's okay. Allow it to happen. So that's what I'm thinking.
I think when you talk about Anthony Hill Jr. and Michael Taft and guys like that on that defense, they're legit. There's no two ways around it. And Colin Simmons is legit too. And I mean, there's other guys.
Muhammad in the secondary. I like Muhammad too.
Trey Moore. Coming back his Ethan Burke. There's so many guys that are back that I don't think people realize that are back. And we saw them last year. We saw them make plays last year. That 4th down against A&M, guess who was making that play? Like it's like we've seen these guys, and
Yeah.
so again,
Well, I think
I
Anthony
think-
Hill. If there's somebody that's as good on defense in the country as like Caleb Downs, it's going to be Anthony Hill to me. I think he's that guy.
That type of impact for your defense, I agree.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
He's just that dude's a different cat, man. No doubt about it.
and
Kind
I
of
think too,
like your guy in South Carolina, the edge rusher. I forget his name.
Yeah. What's his? Oh, it's
Golly.
I'm terrible with names.
If I wasn't thinking about it, if I wasn't trying to get
Nah,
it,
if I knew his
Right,
number,
yeah.
I'm like number 17. Like I can know the number. Don't ask me anybody's name ever, even on my own
he's a
team.
bad dude too. He's a bad
Yeah.
dude too. And I think Oklahoma has some guys like that. They have a number of dudes on their deep. I mean, you're going to ride on defense at OU for sure. That's definitely the strength of the football team.
Yeah.
But at some point, you are going to have to win games with your quarterback.
Well, of course, but you
Yeah.
don't have to start there. And
No.
I
And then
think
Stewart.
if
Dylan.
Arch Manning, and I always say this, we're talking about freaking college football, you guys. Like, I know that we like to like these, they're the best in the world. Like some guys like are amazing in college and go to the NFL and they're terrible. I need you to be a solid college quarterback, Arch Manning. That's it. I don't need you to be changing offensive play calling at the line. I need you to be a solid college quarterback. That's my expectation for him. Don't turn the ball over. Get better. Take what the offense is giving you. Trust your defense. And game 2, do a little bit more. Game 3, like this isn't, I always say football's not hard if you strip away all the stuff. Take away the fans, take away the outside noise, take away the stars, take away all the stuff and just make it about football. What does that look like? Arch Manning, don't lose your team the game.
Now, I don't even think it's Arch we got to worry about. Sarkisian. He's the one I'm worried about. Don't
That's a
call
good
a
point.
game. Don't get stuck in your
fair.
way. Don't utilize what's going to help your best assets. You got a young group of wide receivers, explosive wide receivers that aren't going to be ready week 1. You're going to have to limit those explosive plays. And how do you do that? You rely on that run game. You got 3 backs in your room. I like Wisner. I like CJ Baxter more than all 3 of them. And then you got the true freshman James Simon. I know he's not getting a lot of looks, right? I mean, the redshirt freshman in Clark. I was talking about Simon
Christian
earlier.
Clark.
Yeah, I like Christian Clark. I don't think he gets a lot of carries, but he's your change of speed back that you need to kind of lean on when guys like Baxter and Wisner are setting the tone for you. So when you got a guy like Arch Manning, who I think checks the blocks when it comes to playing the quarterback position, he checks all the blocks. He can create with his legs. He can stay in the pocket, dissect the defense if you give him time. And with the experience you got coming back on the offensive line, how quick do you get the playmakers outside of that adapted to the game? I don't think DeAndre Moore is your guy. As much hype is around him, I don't think Ryan Wingo is your guy as much. As I see the hands with him is going to be his problem in Texas. I think it's that next group of wide receivers.
The guys we brought in.
McCutcheon, Jamie French,
Parker.
Khalil Lockett.
Parker,
Lockett
Livingstone.
is scary,
Yeah.
bro.
Khalil
Yeah.
Lockett is the
Khalil
one.
Lockett is
I'm so pissed off. Alabama had a chance to pull Travis Smith Jr., Khalil Lockett, and Latsier Brooks in this class. We had a chance to really lock that in, and I don't know how we missed, but I could just imagine bump Jamie French decommitting and going to Texas. We'll take that loss. We got 3 of those type of receivers, but you're talking about the speed and the hands to go along with what we got with Latsier Brooks. I like Khalil Lockett. I like Billy McCutcheon as your change of speed wide receiver. And he's more so like a Waddle to me than anybody that we have on or in college football right now. Jalen Waddle type speed with and agility. But Texas has to give those weapons time to develop. And how do you do that in the run game? And if Sarkisian doesn't go against his own trend and really go back to his early Bama days when Coach Saban, that second year when Coach Saban would make him run the ball.
The adjustment stuff. It's after the seems like with me with Sark, it's after the script. What happens
Exactly.
after the script?
What do you do
And
when you
I
turn
think
the
it's-
page?
I think it's the third quarter. I think it starts in the third quarter. I
It's
think it
usually early in the
starts-
second quarter. After their explosive plays in the first 18 to 20 minutes, it's like after that 20-minute mark, he struggles badly.
Well, we have a thing in Texas where it's like, pray about it. It's the third quarter. Like, we're like, pray. Like, we don't know what happened in that locker room. We don't know what they came back out with. Like, I don't know what happens. Even the things that worked. I'm like, can we go back to that one play that worked? No. Okay. Like, I don't know what they talked about in there. At this point, I need to show up and be like, don't listen to any of these guys.
I've heard you
tell you
say
what
this
to do.
before too. I've heard you say this before too.
Yeah.
That you're worried about what happens to him in that third, and then even into the fourth quarter. Like what's
Every
going on?
time.
Yeah.
Every time. And that's my thing is it's like and that's why I tell people the players can only do so much. If you're
Sure.
calling the call, if that's the play call and everybody is going, what was that? That's a problem. Like, that's a big problem. Like people that aren't even Texas fans are like, what was that play call? And I'm like, I don't know. I honestly don't know. What do I do? I don't even know what to say. And I will make a video and I will be like, I don't know, guys. Don't ask me in the comment section because I don't know either.
The thing is I like your running game though too. I mean, look, you had guys step it up last year, even when CJ went down.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that they were really good in the running game. I mean, obviously against Oklahoma, they got it going. This is one of the few times last year that anybody was able to run the ball on OU. Now they were on the field way too damn much. You know, 9 straight 3-and-outs don't help anything whenever you're playing in this game.
Yeah.
But I think that running game wise, it's like I don't understand how he forgets about it because the truth is
you got the assets there.
You know what I say? I have a theory of, and it's not just Sark, he does it, but I think this happens in all coaching because it happens in the NFL too. Because I yell at the screen all day on Sunday. And I'm like, why are we not running the ball? It is working. I think what happens is these coaches fall in love with their plays. And all week they've practiced said play on said thing, on said whatever. And they're like, we have to run this. We practice this all week, not realizing that you don't have to actually. Those 17 extra plays, we don't need them. I'm gonna mute you because we can hear. Can I mute him? Yeah, because we can hear his background. I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen, so let me just mute it. Oh wait, now you're talking, Jason. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry. I said he turned the screen.
I know, and then I heard a slam, and I'm like,
trash.
let me turn it off. And that's my thing. So I think sometimes these coaches get cute, and I think they fall in love with their plays, and they're like, but we practice this. But we were ready, and I'm like,
orbit screen, that little bubble that he does. He loves that one because it worked at Alabama for a while. You know what I mean?
But we don't need it. And so I think it's a good call to say Stark might be. I think, and then the other thing I always say too is that only one coach can win a national championship every year. And I think sometimes we say coaches aren't good coaches because they didn't win the Natty or they didn't whatever. And I think sometimes you have to work to get over that boulder. And I think you have to work at it, and you have to work, and everything has to work, and at the right time, and the ball has to bounce the right way.
If it was easy to win a Natty, everybody would do it. Nobody would care.
Yeah. And so again, does Coach Stark have some things he needs to work on? Yeah. The red zone offense and not getting ahead of himself. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think man, for nothing else, the Ohio State game, I think about it, and it's like, okay, run the ball on the 1 yard line. Turn and hand it right there. Run the damn football. That's all.
Behind your first round draft pick, behind your guy. And I said this. I said this when the game was happening. I said, if he does not run the ball 4 straight times, and if you lose, you lose. And you say, what, guys?
Lose on that.
We
Don't
bully
them.
They were right. Yeah. They were stronger. They were physical. Right. They were whatever. Then you do a toss. I'm losing my crap. Then you do a roll right, but you stack the left side of the line. At that point, I'm fucking pissed because I already know what's happening. I knew. And so for me, I'm like, if you do not line up and run the ball down a team's throat, I don't believe you. And that's how I'm going into the season. I don't believe you.
That's what I don't like. Offensive coaches piss me. All of them do. They'll piss me off whenever they don't have the wherewithal to put them in a jumbo set and get under center and run the fucking football. Go downhill. Just go downhill. And thankfully, I have seen Arbuckle do that multiple times. That he's done it. I think that they're expecting him to do so this year. That's the thing. You got to run the ball, man. And in this league, especially, you got to run the damn ball downhill. If you don't run the ball downhill in the SEC, you are not going to win. It's just not going to happen.
What is Carlos talking about?
I agree. I know you have to. What happened? Who?
I was looking at the comments. My AAA family is enjoying this panel right here. I'm enjoying it too. I done went way past my time, y'all. So I'm gonna say this last thing. I'm gonna take my last two shots and love at the same time. All right, Texas. I'm looking at the schedule. I don't like what it starts off for y'all with the Ohio State game. I don't like that matchup for y'all, and I don't like the fact that y'all have to go to Florida either. So Texas, I hope at best for y'all it's a 3-2 start, and then that Oklahoma game. I feel like it's the perfect storm for Oklahoma this year. The perfect storm for them with that defense, Arch Manning, those young weapons, not really finding identity. And I think after that Oklahoma game is when Texas rolls. Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. They go into Georgia and beat Georgia in Athens. Arkansas, they handle that rivalry, which I truly believe is more so of a rivalry than the Oklahoma game. I don't know what it is about Arkansas and Texas, but they show up and play Texas. And then I think they handle exactly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Jerry Jones being the Cowboys owner and being a Arkansas alum. Maybe the two things kind of clash and have to meet up in the football, the college football space. But I don't know. And then Texas A&M at the end of the season, I think that's going to be a tough game. I got Texas 8-4 this season, like unbiased 8-4, and that's just because of the way the schedule lines up at the beginning. If you all didn't have Ohio State to start week 1, I would have y'all 9-3. Your losses coming to Florida, at Florida, the toss-up game, and I'm just saying toss-up. I like Oklahoma's defense. When I look at toss-ups, I always roll with defense in college football, and it tends to work out for me. I like Oklahoma as far as the defensive factor. And then A&M at the end of the season, like I said, I think A&M is just on an uptrend, not an uptrend to where they're going to be dominating the SEC, but they're just going to be able to win some of the games where they can match up in the ones and get down into the rotational depth and able to find guys that fit. So I think it just looks good for them. So 8-4, 9-3 Texas. 9-3 is the ceiling. 8-4 is the floor. And then Oklahoma. You know how I feel about Oklahoma, man. I don't know why people want so bad for Venables to win 10 games. I don't care if it's his.
I haven't predicted 10 wins yet. I said 9-3. I've been saying 9.
People tripping about this 10-win thing with Oklahoma. Like a lot of you Oklahoma fans.
I think there's a path to get there, but I think it's a tough path. You know what I mean? And I think you're gonna have to have things fall your way in certain situations.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think the schedule just don't line up for y'all this year. I just don't think it line up for 10 wins on your schedule. For like you said earlier, Michigan's going to.
The one thing I do like. Let me just toss this in there that you've got a bunch of first-year starting quarterbacks that they go up against, and that the Brent Venables defense is gonna have by the end of the year it's not the same if they've been starting that whole year, but only 2. You've got 6 out of 8 opponents have a first-year starter for Oklahoma, so that could stack up to that. Whether it does or not, we're gonna find out. You know what I mean? You're gonna find out, but it's. Again, they got the brutal schedule. They did. But I think this defense can take them a long way. And if Mateer really does have a Heisman-like season, that I could see the ceiling being pretty high. But I've been at 9-3. You're going to have to show me 10 before I say 10.
and to your point about those quarterbacks starting, you won't see most of those new starters until the second half of the season. Like I told you, man,
You're right about that. You're right about that.
Week 7, that week 6 to week 8, that's usually when teams find their identity. And you look at your schedule, y'all got Texas in week 7. Then you got experienced Lenore Sellers in South Carolina at South Carolina. You got Austin Simmons, who I think is going to be, at this point in the season, weeks 1 through 4, I think Austin Simmons are going to be like, wait, this ain't the same guy that almost put Georgia on their ropes, right? It is. It's just going to take time for him to get his. Come on. And that's what I try to tell people. Don't get so hype off of that one game, because I didn't think Georgia's defense was as elite as they tried to make it seem last year. They had guys, but the team defense as a whole was not elite.
Game at all, man. They didn't look good at all in that game.
Exactly. And then so you got Lenore Sellers, then you got Austin Simmons week 9 of the season. Then you got Joey Aguilar and Josh Heupel at Tennessee. The week after that, you get a bye week. Then you come into T-Town against Ty Simpson in week 12 of the season. You go to Missouri. They're going to be, I forget the young man's name, but we don't expect much from him, but he's going to have experience on his belt late in the season. What are we playing for at this point? That's going to be probably Missouri's story. And then LSU with Nussmeier to close out the season. That's going to be a hard track them last 6 of the games. That's why I got Oklahoma at 8-4. That's what, like, that last 6, you're going to have to win big to win those games. And I just don't see you winning big at T-Town. I don't see you winning big in Neyland. And then also hosting LSU in that offense, man. That's probably going to be the second or third offense in the season that finally can put Brett Venables to test. So that's where I see it with Oklahoma. And 8-4, that's a good season for Oklahoma in this transition year. Talking about next year phasing in, allowing that offense to really settle in year 2. That's what Alabama dealt with last year. Imagine if last year was Alabama's second year with Milroe and Sheridan and all those guys having a year of continuity under their belts. I think it's a different product, and you still ended with 9-3 last season for Bama. So both of these teams, Oklahoma, Texas, second year. If
it's not 9-3, if they don't get to at least 9-3, I wouldn't be happy. I can tell you that.
I agree. And it's right there in the wheelhouse. The toss-up game for me for Oklahoma, of course, is that opener hosting Auburn. Do not let Auburn come in there and have any type of confidence. I promise you, Jackson Arnold is going to play like a superstar. If you give him a inkling of space to have, he's going to do it just because it's Oklahoma.
You said you're not mentioning his name. You said you're not mentioning his name.
I have to because he's in denial about it.
Because his ass is going down.
I hope so.
He's not going to make it to that game, bro.
I hope for your sake and for the Oklahoma fan base sake, Jackson Arnold does not show up and all of a sudden looks like an Elite 11 quarterback, something that I definitely disagree with. I just don't think he's one of the top QBs. And I think Hugh Freeze and Auburn fan base is finding that out as the practices continue to go on in fall camp. But I tell you what, man, it's been fun here tonight. It's been fun here tonight.
I appreciate you. Like, I appreciate you coming up. I feel like every time Jason knows this because there's been several times where I've just messaged him. I'm like, I have this crazy idea. What do you think? And he's like, absolutely. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like thank you for trusting me with like this random idea that I had, and then just like collaborating and getting together. I always say I can talk football with anybody because my feelings are never involved in it. Like I just like talking about it, and I like hearing other people's perspectives. Because I think that's how I learn also as I'm watching, and what I hear people say are things that I haven't thought of. So I just want to say thank you for joining me and saying, yes, I will do this. And then thank you for like still being around, because I think that that's important too. And it means a lot to me that you're here and that you were like, yeah, I'll do it. Sure. I'll show up for you. I got you. So thank you. I appreciate that.
100%, sis. And shout out to you and the whole team, man, that we brought together. Hey, like you all said, like the chat is saying right now, this got to be something. Maybe we do this like once quarterly throughout the season, every 4 games or so. We got to come together and revisit some of these takes.
I have to check my calendar. You know, I'm booked and blessed and busy.
Yeah, I was about to say, make sure you check out Palm Pilot. Make sure you check out Palm Pilot. See what.
Let me check my calendar. See what I got going on.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. Once again, y'all, and to all my family out there, man, that support. Make sure y'all go subscribe. Really Flawed, Jason Watkins. Y'all familiar with AAA family? Y'all familiar with Jason? But make sure y'all go tap in with Really Flawed. I think her live presence is about to be a lot more relevant now that we're stepping into the season. She got some quality content both for NFL and college, man. I'm telling y'all, man, she lit. Jason told me like, hey, she gonna be reaching out.
I said, hey man, I said she's gonna reach out, and I said she's a Texas girl, and I love her anyway.
Yeah, I knew it was real then. And it's crazy because you're a Texas girl, right? And Jason spoke highly of you being an Oklahoma guy. So I'm a Bama guy, and my love, she's a Auburn fan. Her and her whole family. I hear this crap every Sunday since we started dating and going over there to hang out. So I got the love for you, sis. As much as I dislike Texas, I don't even dislike Texas. I dislike the fan base.
I'm okay with that.
Shut up and wait y'all turn. It's coming. Trust me. As much as I hate to admit it, your chance is going to come in the next 4 to 5 years. I see it.
Listen, To be fair, we have been bad for so long. Okay, allow us this moment. Listen, if you are a Texas fan, stand the fuck up. Okay, because we have been waiting for this. So allow us this moment. Allow us to be annoying until Saturday. Just allow us to be annoying until Saturday. Okay, just when the season starts, I think it will calm down. But just let us be annoying right now. Just let us be.
You Texas fans and your belief in your false hopes of being back. Oh my
Just
God!
let us be annoying. Allow us this. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for this for so long.
But not
okay?
everybody's as good as not everybody's as good as you about it though. Not everybody's as cool as you.
Okay, well, okay. When you're on my show, okay, when we're doing this together, you know my heart, okay? You know where I am, okay? So just allow me to have my moment, okay?
Oh,
because once the season starts, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was freaking terrible. Did y'all see that crap? What was that? So, I'll be right in there with you. So I'm just saying, but right now, just allow us our moment, okay? It's been a long time.
It's messed up how college football has rewarded y'all though for finally being a team that's ready, and now look at what they did for y'all that first season last year, and y'all weren't able to capitalize. But this year, man, I think the first half is really like it is the best thing that could have happened for y'all. Ohio State, 3 cupcakes, then Florida and Oklahoma, and then after that, you should be smooth sailing. You should be smooth sailing.
And listen. If you are a fan of football and you do not get up for Ohio State, Texas, come on. This is what we've been waiting for. This is it, right? Like, get up. I don't care if you're scared. I don't care if you're nervous. I don't care if you're anxious. I don't care if they're loud. I don't care if you have to travel far. I don't care if it's going to be cold. It's Ohio fucking State. Get up. Get up. Period. In Texas, you're the number 1 team in the nation. Stand up and fight for being number 1. And if you don't, you deserve to lose. And if you stand up, congratulations, we go to week 2. It's that simple. Like, that's simple.
And I need Texas fans to understand that a close loss, no matter what the loss looks like, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying loss because I picked Ohio State. I'm sticking to my
you have
pick.
To stand on it. I get it.
But a close loss or an upset win over Ohio State, even though you're the number 1 ranked team, I think going up there's a disadvantage. You got so many new pieces you got to figure out. If you go in there and you compete 4 quarters and you lose by 7, you lose by 9, you lose by 13, that's not a bad loss. It has nothing to do with your playoff picture. As a matter of fact, it helps you as you continue to go throughout your schedule because, like I said, you won't have another true test until week 5, you going into Florida. And you're facing the same circumstances. How you play against Florida, a conference opener, plus another ranked team at that time. I think Florida still be ranked top 10, top 15 at that point in time. How you play that game compared to how you play week 1 is going to be what your resume is measured by. And I think you have enough space. You got to stand up and handle those. And handling those means showing up, like you just said, showing up and doing your. If Sarkisian does not get in the way of this offense as far as the development, trying to rush it, I think Texas has enough to make every game that they have on the schedule. They could be a 9-3, 10-2 team for sure. If they just go with the flow of how the offense is developing, don't rely on your defense, but allow your offense space to develop. Don't get into think you got the high-powered offense because you did it against bum-butt freaking University in week 2. No, let's not do that, Sarkisian. You do that.
It's football. It is football. You got to stand up. Period. I don't care. I don't care if somebody gets hurt. I don't care, right? Like, this is it. Stand up, do something. Like, it's not good enough to say, well, but no, we're done with that. It's time to show up. This is the moment. I don't want to hear about it week 2. I don't want to hear about it week 3. I don't want to hear about it week 4. I want to hear about it week 1. I need you to go out there and prove it. That's all I ask for. Do I want you to win? Absolutely. But you have to show me you want to be there. That's it.
Right.
That's it. So that's where 100%. I'm going to be.
100%. And like,
anyways, I appreciate you joining.
I ain't gonna let y'all keep me in
he
here.
Doesn't want to leave us.
Supposed to be. I'm about to go now. I'm leaving right now. God bless y'all. Roll Tide. Much love to the family, man. And again, y'all enjoy the rest of this show. I'll tap in with y'all another time. Hey,
Appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna hit you up, sis. Try to have you on for
All
that show Thursday. All right.
Yeah. I have Thursday same time. We'll text.
Yeah, text me.
Okay,
And
cool.
Jason, you already know Friday is going down. If y'all missed last year's collabs with me and Jason during the season, you don't want to miss them. And we added some more people to the bunch. Gonna have to get Flawed in there if we can get her on Friday nights. But
I don't know. I don't know if it's able. I don't even. I rarely can get her ever.
Ever. You get what I'm saying? If we can get her late night Fridays, that'll be a
Friday
vibe.
night, Colorado plays. Friday night, Colorado plays.
And we're gonna watch
Colorado
it.
plays though on Friday night.
Georgia Tech.
It's a different vibe of when we come together Friday nights. We're kind of watching the games in the background usually, and we're usually just having a show. It's not a live watch party, but we
She
usually
wants
just
to yell
talking.
at the screen and like.
I love that.
In it.
I love that. So
Yes,
we'll be up late. So
and
we'll
you know
see.
what I actually hate when I'm with some, like when I'm collaborating and their screen is before mine, or they're like, oh, and it takes me a minute to see it. I hate that crap.
That's why I stopped doing watch parties
The
last
worst,
season.
right?
I hate it.
They come in the
I
chat.
hate it.
First down. You be like, man, I ain't even seen those last two plays yet. Get out my chat. I block people in my chat for live watch parties. You get in here talking about what's happening in your screen and not paying attention to what's happening here.
I hate that.
All right, y'all. I'm going. I love y'all.
All right, bye.
All right, bro.
Bye.
Peace.
I will I thank you for joining me. Like you were like,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling well, I'm not whatever.
I'm
This
still
is
not,
this is a safe space. You know, this is
Yeah.
a safe space and it's all good. It's
It's
just football
pounding
talk.
though. It's pounding. I don't know what it is. I've had it for like 3 days, so it's just like I'm trying to get it to, and I keep going on anyway, trying to like trying to do whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just, but once I started listening, I was like, man, I gotta jump in there at least.
Yeah, we're just here. Well, talking trash, talking football, combination of everything. Hold on, you just got a super chat. My whole screen. Hold on, let me click it.
Oh, he's talking at it. Oh, still waiting for Jason to call Alabama.
Still waiting for Jason to call Alabama soft for backing out of West Virginia days after going 9 conference games. Got to keep that same energy with Rule, Riley, and others.
I didn't know they did that. That is soft. As baby shit.
That is soft. Yeah, that is soft. That is. I mean,
I didn't know they did.
That is soft.
Smoke was still. Why didn't you do this when Smoke was still here?
Yeah, he probably didn't realize he was joining. He just left. Anyways, I've been on here for 3 hours almost, just blabbing my mouth. Yeah, I need to work out. I got to do some things. But honestly, I can't even put into words how grateful I am. I feel like I just keep saying how grateful I am. And then it's kind of like, I'm like, did I just say thank you again? So I appreciate you joining me. Also, like not only Coach Smook, you yourself, you also helped me with Shelton for Florida. Yeah. And he amazing. So I can't put into words like how,
show, don't they?
How many people too have helped me put this together. It's like, yeah, I'm the one having the conversations and the editing and the uploading. But I need people to help me get people. And so I appreciate
now that not everybody else is going to have. So the good news is that you can return that favor.
No, I'm the connector. I love that. That's why. Yeah, that's why I told in the back chat, but I don't know if you can see the chat before you join behind, but that's what we were kind of doing in the private chat was making sure everyone's good.
Yeah, I see it all.
Yeah, and everybody obviously can reach out to me. I have no problem connecting anybody at any time if I can.
Sure.
I have no problem with that. And I know I laugh and I joke, but I'm going to say this. I cover 3 teams. And it is very hard for me because once the NFL starts, I feel like I'm off to the races and half the time I don't know what the day is. And so it's harder for me to come on shows. But I tell people, I'm like, if you tell me ahead of time, I'll put it on my calendar and I will work my calendar around that. So just calling that out because sometimes it gets a little rough. I'm like, I got 45 minutes, tap me in real quick. So anyways, but I appreciate you for joining. I'll end on you, but I just want to thank everybody for being here. If you are here and you saw people that had YouTube channels, the good news is I've collaborated with everybody that you saw here. So in the description of this video, I have every single person's video that I talked to, and I have my ranking in the comment section. I'll get Bishop's super chat here in a second. And so I have all that information. So if you saw somebody that you want to engage with, have more content with, find them on Twitter, argue with them about your team, that is fine. I'm sure they would actually love it because I got a bunch of trash talkers, which is amazing, actually.
There's
So
a
if you're
shit ton,
interested,
yeah.
I got a lot of them. So go in my description of this video and you will find everybody's video linked next to their team. And then the last thing is I am starting to release my previews. The first one releases, well, for my members are getting my video tonight. Actually, you'll get it at 12 o'clock tonight. But
Nice.
tomorrow will release. And so we're back. Like football's back. Everything is happening.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've had this headache the last few days, but I am jacked up. I can't wait. It's like week 1 is here. I mean, you got a little morsel on week 0, right? So it's you're like, okay, cool. Farmageddon, the fight after Farmageddon, that was kind of cool. So yeah. But
I love it.
But you're getting into mid-season form already because here we go, because you got people talking shit and it's week 1. I'm excited. Thanks for having me on.
There it is. That's what I said. And you know me, I don't really partake in the trash talking stuff, but I'm like, hey, if you guys want to go at it, football's about to start. Have at it. Like, whatever. Shout out to Bishop for the 555. Does that mean something to Oklahoma? 555? Okay. Sometimes people do like numbers that are like the zip code or the
5 days left, maybe. I don't know. No, it'd be 405 if he was talking about Oklahoma. He'd probably be talking 405. So
yeah, okay. I didn't know. So shout out to Bishop for the 555. Basically, he's hyping us up. Okay. And I salute to you, Bishop. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to say, Jason, before I end the live?
Nope. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. And guys, thanks for jumping in here. Make sure you go give everybody this in her description there.
Yeah.
A like, everybody. A subscribe, everybody. There's a lot of people in there. There's a lot of creators. She found some great creators outside of people that we really know. So I would definitely get over there and check them all out.
Yeah. And also, if they don't have a YouTube page, their Twitter is in the video. So you can go to their specific video. You can find every single person if you go to their video. I spent a lot of time on putting everybody's information in there. Okay. So it is in there. Trust me, it is in there. And you'll go find it. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like, leave a comment. If you're on playback, sorry that you missed us, but hey, hopefully you have a good time watching us on playback. Anyways, are you going to end how you want to end this, or you want me to hit this in the live stream?
I'm good. Okay. I'll just throw them down just for you. But
okay, there we go. I was just kind of I'm kind of like waiting. See how accommodating I am? I'm so accommodating. I'm like, okay, go ahead and do the thing. Come on.
You actually like it. It doesn't even bother you. It weirds me out that none of this bothers you. So it's like I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it whenever I'm around you because you don't even like get mad about it. It's time worth my time.
I don't know. I don't know why it does it. I'm like, I don't really care about that.
I don't know either. I don't get it. It's weird to me.
I don't know. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Jason, stay on. Right. Bye, everyone.